Hey guys, I'm CJ from Thy Art Is Murder, and you're watching Metalshop TV. Peace. I think this record, like every record that comes, it's always more difficult. Just because you want to do better each record, so trying to figure out like what has worked for you previously and to do something different is something that we always try to do. So I think this record we kind of steer away from like the anti-religious, anti-Semitic kind of stuff, and we try to write a whole record about real things that we have been affected by in our lives or people close to us, our lives. Or like in the world that we live in, like political or environmental or something like that. So this record was hard to do. Like every record is hard, but this one was a little bit more difficult lyrically because we were trying new subject matters. Writing process, usually Sean and Andy will go into the studio with a few riffs, maybe some full songs, and then we break them down with our producer. We'll write a whole bunch of songs, like 20 songs. And then we pick 12 from that, and then we write lyrics for those as we go. And then it's just recording guitars, bass, drums, vocals all day, every day for like 6 weeks. This record was really quick. I recorded all the vocals for the whole record in like 8 days or 9 days. My voice was really strong. I tried different things in my vocals for this record, different accents, different projecting styles of screaming, and I was just on fire. I could kill it. So this was the easiest record vocally for me to record, but the most difficult to write lyrics for. It's not that difficult for me. I've sang for 24 years. Now I'm 36. I've been singing since even younger, but like growling, screaming to Nirvana when I was 12 was like the earliest memory for me. But yeah, I always want to do different things with my voice. I don't want to just be a low vocalist or a high vocalist or like a super crushing mid vocalist. I want to try different things. I take a lot of inspiration from European bands like Gojira, Behemoth, Decapitated. And I use their accents. It's very strange hearing an Australian accent with vocals. So I try to do different things. I want to be the best, and I always want to be the best. So for me, vocals I take very seriously. I don't really drink. I don't do drugs anymore. So those sort of things were affecting my voice on tour, playing lots of shows. I think the most important thing is that I rest. A vocalist should always sleep a lot, rest a lot, and take care of his voice or her voice that way as well. So for me, I sleep a lot at night. I don't really drink, and I try not to talk in loud environments. Like when you're trying to talk over people, when you talk like this, it strains your vocal cords. So I just don't talk in the, like if we're side of stage watching a band, it's like sign language. That's it. But always trying new things, learning different techniques. And I try to manipulate things in nature, like animals and things that I hear on the street. So I don't really listen to too much metal anymore. So I learn from things that surround me in the world, and I mimic those sounds and turn them into vocals rather than trying to mimic other vocalists in the metal scene. I try to do something very different, so that I'm original and I'm doing something that no one's doing. I think it's good for a lot of things, you know, for bands, for businesses, for artists. It's an amazing platform to get your art or your music or your business out there. And to share it with your friends. But I feel that the tool that social media has been used in the wrong way. People are idolizing these fake people because they're rich or they're wealthy or they're popular, or, you know, whatever it is, you know, back in the day of our parents' era, the idols were people that were making a difference in the world. You know, even the movies that we used to watch, Die Hard, all these sort of movies, it was like the cop was the hero, or, you know, the good guy was the hero. Now everything's flipped around, where it's like the drug dealers and the fucking murderers up, and the gangs is what people are aspiring to. You know, they're looking at the Kardashians and all of these fake Instagram influencers because they're beautiful, and they're telling you to drink this fucking tummy tea or use this teeth whitening fucking gel, and people are like idolizing these fake idols, these false gods, you know. And it's I think for the younger generation of people, it's disturbing, you know, especially now. My wife and I had a baby a few months ago, and like understanding what we're bringing our child into this world, it's important that me and my wife and our family understand the evils that are in certain everyday uses like this. And even for me, people will look up to me because I have a lot of followers on social media. They think that I'm rich and that my life is easy, and they think that I'm loved and I'm famous, and it's all bullshit. Like, I'm just a normal guy that plays in a fucking band that is successful. I have a lot of followers because we have a lot of fans that love us and we love them, and I'm just as significant and just as normal as all the people that are watching this or that follow me on my social media. Like, people shouldn't, you know, think that I'm more important than people that have normal lives. Like, I think this is what we're trying to portray in New Gods, and New Gods was a song that I really, really wanted to write. So I was writing short stories, and Andy and our producer Will Putney would help me put that into context, into lyrics better, from what I was trying to say. So New Gods and Chemical Christ are the two songs that are the closest to me that I felt strongly about on this record. We all love Jesse. Jesse's such a kind, nice, vibrant, amazing drummer. Like, just a person. Like, you know, every day he wakes up, he gets excited to play shows where some of us in the band, not particularly me, but other guys in the band, just kind of like to play the shows, but they lost that love and that energy for it. Where Jesse is like, wants to play. Like, he practices for 2 hours every day before we play. We've known Jesse for 7 years. He's drummed on tours for us before, when Lee got married, when Lee's brother got married. It's sad that we lost Lee. You know, Lee needed to step away for personal reasons, and we love Lee. Lee will always be with us. We're still best friends. There's no bad blood there. We just got really lucky to get Jesse. Jesse's played in a number of big bands, like Jungle Rot today played on main stage. Jesse played with Jungle Rot for a number of years. So he has a lot of experience playing in big bands. And for us to have someone come back into our band with that passion and that hunger to strive to get better, it's unreal. When we recorded drums for the record, he would record drums so fast because it was perfect, and our producer's like, how the fuck does this guy play drums so good? And then Jesse would stop after a section and say, no, like, I want to do a different fill, or I want to do a different accent on a china, or on the bell of the ride cymbal. Like, so he'd always try and do different things, and he'd do something perfect, and then he'd stop and go, I want to do it better again. Well, how can you do it better? That's fucking perfect. So Jesse is a fucking legend, and I think once our fans and people out there get to meet him and see him play drums, they'll think exactly the same. I'd still pick, you know, New Gods, obviously. Chemical Christ is the last track on the record, and it was written in a very strange way, because I've had like a massive problem with drugs most of my life, and some of my best friends back home in Australia are still struggling with this. So the song is written from two different points of view. It's like my point of view, and then Andy, our guitarist, his point of view of me when I was in a bad way for a number of years with drugs. So that song's really powerful for me because I feel that drugs have a place in the society. You know, I'm not saying don't do drugs, just don't do what I did and just abuse them every day. So I think it's really important that people digest that song, especially if themselves or somebody close to them has a problem with drugs. The song is, you know, very similar to New Gods in idolizing something that's fake, like drugs is, you're not blaming yourself for your drug problem, you're blaming everything else around you, and that is the reason why you're doing drugs. So Chemical Christ is something that is very close and personal to me, and something I struggled with for a large part of my life. The first thing I think of Czech Republic is this guy who filmed porn walking around, I forget what it was called. It's like something invasion or something. So he would go around and interview, like it was all set up, but he'd interview a girl on the street saying, I give you 2,000 Czech crowns, maybe you show me your tits, and then I walk into a bush and she shows her the tits, and then 2,000 Czech crowns, maybe you suck my dick a little bit, and I'm like, this is the fucking coolest thing in the world. Like, for when I was younger, I grew up watching this dude's pornos, and I'm like, I want to be this dude. This dude just fucks hot Czech chicks all day. So before we ever came to Europe playing in the band, and we first found out we were playing in Prague in Czech Republic, I just thought all women in the Czech Republic are the hottest women in the world, and they all fuck. So like that's from watching. That's the first thing I think about Czech Republic. But after coming here for so many years, Prague is, for me, it's my favorite city in the world. Because I just like to get lost and just walk around. Now they have Lime scooters. I love Lime scooters, so I get on a scooter, an electric scooter, and I just fly around the city. So fucking old, so beautiful, so much history and stories about it. So I just I love Prague. So more modern me is fucking Prague. It's fucking beautiful. It's really hard to answer that. We have a lot of friends, and for me, I don't get to see them much these days, but a band called Dillinger Escape Plan from the US, they broke up, they played their final shows on New Year's Eve in New York this year just gone, and we met them in 2013, I think it was, in America on our first American tour there. And this band was one of the first bands that just like blew my mind, and I loved them. So I watched them come to Australia on their first tour when I was 18. I bought every record they ever made. I loved every single record they've ever done. I just for me, they were massive idols, inspirations for me. So when we become friends with them, it was mind-blowing, and over years and years, we toured Europe, America, Australia. We played so many shows with these guys. We've become so close. So for me to become such close friends with a band that I loved my whole life, it's fucking amazing. The Sun I got when I was 17 in the Blue Mountains near Sydney. But one of my friends is a famous tattoo artist from Budapest. He's coming today. His name's Grind Design, Robert Borbas. So he did this piece on me probably like 4 or 5 years ago, and I've known Robert for years before he even became a tattooist, when he was a graphic designer for bands, logos, t-shirts and stuff. So when Robert did this on me, it was awesome because he just came up with a cool idea, cool design. We're really good friends. He's so huge and respected in the tattoo world as well, so it's an honor to see a friend of mine that's so close to me do so well in his art and get the recognition he deserves. So yeah, Grind Design, Budapest, Hungary, check him out. Yeah, I think it was like 15 people, and like I was like almost vomiting backstage. I was like 14 or 15 or something, and then yeah, I remember it. It was at like a youth center. We were the first band to play out of 14 bands, and then at the most amount of people for the show, maybe 55 people or something in this small little room, but like 14 people were there, and most of them were our friends. But it was so nerve-wracking, and just it felt awesome. And still now, like I don't get really nervous anymore. I don't really get as excited as I used to, but I love playing. Like I'll never lose the love for playing shows. That's for sure. Well, I own a tattoo studio, so I work there. I own a tattoo studio. I also own a furniture company with my father, my brother, and my uncles. We make expensive, like artistic tables. I'd still do that. I'm a dad now, so I'd be a father, I guess. I'm fucking busy, man. So, you know, when I'm not on tour, I have like 3 businesses, or 2 businesses that I own. My own clothing label's the 3rd. Being a father to a little baby, it takes a lot of time and not a lot of sleep. So I love coming on tour now because I can sleep in my bed on the bus, and I don't have to wake up to a baby screaming all the time. It's awesome.